All right, so we were having trouble the first run around. I think we're good now. My phone may fall, but I don't think it's the next game. Instead, I think we might be getting one more non-titled game. And I think it would be cool if it shows us Riku and Kairi trying different methods to bring Kairi, except that game just kind of seems to be a waste of breath from what I've seen and what I've heard. It kind of ends the same way it begins. They don't know how to bring Sora back, and Kairi somehow, some way, randomly goes toe to toe with Xehanort. So I'm not really sure what the deal is with Melody and Memories, but I do think it would be cool if we got another game, a non-numbered title, where you play as Riku and Kairi, and you switch between the two, in between worlds or levels or whatever. So kind of like a mix between Dream Drop and Birth by Sleep. But I think it would be cool, particularly, so Kairi's kind of like this idealist of a character. Am I talking about Melody of Memories? I was. So I was talking about non-numbered titles after 3. So I think it would be cool to have another game before we get Kingdom Hearts 4, where we play as Kairi and Riku going back and forth. And so I'm talking about predictions, for the 20th event. So, anyway, I think it would be cool if we switch between Kairi and Riku, going back and forth in this next supposed game, right? And Kairi's character is that of like an altruist, or not altruist, sorry, of like an idealist. Kairi and Riku Dream Drop, yeah. So Kairi's an idealist. She wants the best outcome. She sees the best outcome, whether or not it's actually probable. She sees the good in everything. She wants the good things to happen, kind of like regardless. She's a lot like Sora in the same way, except Sora is also a little bit more of an altruist. Kairi isn't, or she's more selective with her altruism. And then we have Riku, who seems a lot more like a rationalistic character. So I think it would be cool is if the two of them, not that they like have a fight or anything, but they're trying different methods. They're trying the ways that they think work to bring Sora back. So Kairi, tries maybe through like an avenue of memories, because that's what Melody of Memories was, and whatnot. And then Riku might have to do something with like the Realm of Sleep or whatever. Just different gimmicks from previous games to try and bring Sora back. Yeah, they'd have to separate them somehow. Yeah. So I do think it would be cool if while Kairi goes and tries to bring Sora back her way, and Riku goes to try and bring Sora back his way, their relationship, it's not like destroyed or anything, but it becomes a little more tense without Sora. And because neither of them are helping each other, they're just kind of like, they're not against each other necessarily either. It's just one of them thinks that this is the way to help Sora, and the other thinks that this is the way to help Sora, and they're doing what they think is right. So I think that would be a cool dichotomy to have in another game, is to show the relationship between Kairi and Riku without Sora. Because up to this point, you don't see the two characters without Sora. Every time they're on the screen, it's always about Sora. Even Melody of Memories, she's trying to bring Sora back, which is obviously the point, but like Sora is in every conversation in Melody of Memories. He's in every conversation when you're playing as Riku in Recom. I forget what his episode is called. He's in every conversation in whenever you play as Riku in Dream Drop Distance. The only time Sora's not mentioned all the time is in Days, and of course Sora becomes a big deal at the end of that game, of course, for obvious reasons. But I do think it would be cool to have a game where you switch between Reverse Rebirth. Yep, that's what it's called. Yep, thank you. I do think it would be cool to have a game where you see the tension between their relationship, or their friendship, I should say, where you play as Kairi and you play as Riku, and they're trying to bring Sora back with their own methods. And then, we might get Kingdom Hearts 4. But I think we're going to get a non-numbered title announced with probably a release date for later this year or early next year. And then Kingdom Hearts 4, if I had to give just like an average estimated date of when I think Kingdom Hearts 4 could happen, I would say a good average is like 2025, probably late 2025. That's not to say it couldn't come sooner. Like it technically, I think could. I think it's been a decent while, but I also think it could be later. So I think a good average is 2025, probably mid to late 2025. So I do think we're getting two game announcements, another spin-off to kind of tie the bridge between the Darkseeker Saga to this next game, and Kingdom Hearts 4. As far as non-game things go, I think I'm going to try and fix that. It's a little crooked. There we go. Hopefully that helps. That way I don't look bald. I've got hair. 2025 sounds so futuristic. Honestly, it does, but I've gotten to the point to where, like, it's just, I mean, I graduate. Oh, I fell. I graduate from college next year. I remember when I was in, like, 4th grade, I did the math. I was like, I'm going to graduate in 2019. That's forever. And then it happened. So 2025 does sound futuristic in the moment, but 3 more years is all it is. Like, dude, these past 3 years with, like, COVID gone by like that. At least for me it has. So, yeah, 2025 I think is a good little average estimate for Kingdom Hearts 4. But yeah, so like non-game stuff. I don't really know if we're gonna get non-game stuff. True. We already are in 2022. I don't know if we're gonna get non-game stuff because like Kingdom Hearts has always been about the games. Obviously, they do the orchestra events, which I do think is probably a given. Just they do orchestra events pretty regularly from when they started doing them, anyways. So it just makes sense to have another orchestra event. I don't really know what else. A Kingdom Hearts like animated show would be cool, but it's just like, what are they gonna do? Because like if they just do the events of the first couple games, then it's just like, why not play the games? The only thing, if they were to do a show, the only thing I think would be worth it is if they do it as an adaptation of the manga. Because the manga is hilarious. I love the Kingdom Hearts manga. Probably more than the games themselves, because it's so funny, and the manga does not take itself seriously, but I take that back. It takes itself seriously just enough, it's never too much, it's always lively, it's always fun. So if we do get a show, I would like it to be an adaptation of the manga, or I would like it to be a all-original kind of show or story, either talking about the events of Dark Road to where people who don't want to play the mobile games like me don't have to, and then we just have the show. The show just tells us. The experience would be unique enough to work. Yeah. So I think a show's possible. I want it to either be an adaptation of the manga or I want it to be like a summary of Dark Road. Because I feel like everyone knows the events of Chi pretty well. At this point, it's just like Keyblade War, a bunch of people became Dream Eaters, boom, So yeah, if we get a show, I want it to be Dark Road, or I want it to be an adaptation of the manga. What else is there? If we get other spin-off games, because like all of the Kingdom Hearts spin-off games at this point aren't really spin-off games. If you were to ask a Kingdom Hearts fan, hey, is Birth by Sleep, is Dream Drop Distance, is Chain of Memories a spin-off? If they're a Kingdom Hearts fan worth their salt, they're gonna tell you no, they're not a spin-off. Yozora play Kingdom Hearts. Yeah. So the play art figures, I don't really care about a whole lot, just because like they're so expensive and they're just non-practical to a casual fan like me. I mean, like, they're cool, but I'm not going to spend $700 on a Yozora play art figure. Although I would spend $700 on a chess set if it were playable, but it's not. So sad. What was the? Oh yeah, So I do think it would be nice if we got a genuine Kingdom Hearts spin-off, like a racing game or a fighting game, something that does not have hardcore story stuff in it. Like, it's fine if it has a story mode, which is canon to the series, but as long as it's not really, really important, you know? Like, if it's just there, it's extra stuff, you know, like if it's a story mode about Ericus during him in his Keyblade training stuff, right? Like, it's something simple like that where we already know the beginning, we already know the end, you know, the middle stuff is not important, it's just cool to have. Then I would like a story mode within a genuine spin-off game. Like racing or a fighting game. A Kingdom Hearts fighting game would go off, like, for real. I don't know about the use of Disney characters, though. And while all the organization members would obviously be playable, it's just like you have 13 characters who all wear a black coat. That kind of looks a little dull. Presuming that there would be, like, alternate costumes and stuff, then you can get, like, Axel, Roxas, and Xion in their different outfits. Xemnas in his zebra coat. Isa in his suit, or in his new clothes. So I do think a fighting game would be cool. They gotta make up for the Kingdom Hearts. Oh, I missed that. Sorry. But yeah, so I would like a genuine spin-off game. Like, if it's fighting or racing or something else. Racing would be great. I've been on a Mario Kart streak the past month because of DLC, so I am in a racing game mood. If they do a Kingdom Hearts racing game, I wouldn't complain, although that's just kind of weird to do, too. Like, would you put everyone in carts? Would you give them the Keyblade vehicle stuff? That's a little weird. But a fighting game would go off. A fighting game would go off. Oh, you were probably, when you said Kingdom Hearts cast, I think you were talking about the clothes thing that I was talking about. Yeah, give them all different clothes. Yeah. So I don't really know what else to expect. I feel like we're gonna get I feel like we're gonna get a Kingdom Hearts 4 announcement. I feel like we're gonna get a game to connect Melody of Memories to Kingdom Hearts 4. It would be cool if we got a pure spin-off game. That would be cool. And an animation show would be cool as well. Okay, they gotta make up for not being in Dissidia. Oh, yeah, not being in Dissidia. Yeah, for real. I remember watching an old video. It was a modded version of Dissidia on the PSP. And it was to Xehanort, and it was completely modded. Keyblade Graveyard, it was really good. I was like, that's what the final boss should be like. And Kingdom Hearts 3's final boss isn't half bad. It's not the worst in the series. It's probably not the best, but it's pretty up there. Kingdom 3's final boss is pretty good. I will say, the fight with Xehanort and Scala at Kylam, when he's in the goat mask, that was like, this is so tedious. Especially when you're fighting the 13 different clones of him. But anyways, so I really hope, once Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out, I really hope they get rid of the whole 13 darknesses, 7 lights thing. I mean, like, it seems like they are, because the new chess game that young Ericus plays with him is like 7 darknesses and 7 lights or something. It's a different number, which is really interesting. And I wonder if it's going to tie in with Yozora any. I didn't like the water part. Yeah, the water part in Xehanort is meh. It's very meh. Although the underwater gameplay in Kingdom Hearts 3 is the best the series has ever had, just because Kingdom Hearts 1 sucked. And then that was it, I think. So Kingdom Hearts 3's underwater gameplay is an improvement, but that's not saying much. What else? So yeah, I'm about to depart to close up shop. So let's recap. So I think we're gonna get a game that's gonna lead into Kingdom Hearts 4. I think we're gonna get Kingdom Hearts 4. I think it would be cool if we got an animation though. So I am parking. I'm going to wrap up here. Thanks, Olu, for watching. I'm going to upload this on my YouTube so people can watch and check in later before the event ends. And, you know, I can go back and look and see how much I got right. So, anyways, thanks for watching. This is Jake. Log it out.